Ed Oliver. The Washington Wizards finished Summer League beating the Golden State Warriors. We're going to talk about who may get a two-way contract and who stood out. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Wizards, your daily Washington Wizards podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's good, Wizards fans? I just want to thank you guys for making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. We are free and available wherever you get podcasts. This episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline where the game starts. So we are live tonight recapping the game. So I'm just going to give my takes for the first couple of minutes here, and then I'll look at the chat and then respond to you guys. But the Wizards finished the Summer League 3-2. Beating the Warriors 87-77. Vernon Carey did not play, and Johnny Davis did not play tonight. For Golden State, Jonathan Kuminga did not play. Moses Moody did not play. I want to say there were some other guys that didn't play either. I don't think Guy Santos played for the Golden State Warriors. There were a couple of guys that didn't suit up, but James Wiseman did suit up. And I talked about the matchup yesterday in the bonus episode, and I owe Jaime Echenique an apology because I said that I didn't say Jaime Echenique would be overmatched against James Wiseman, but I said it would be a good challenge for him. And just saying that James Wiseman was more athletic than him and stronger than him. Then I retracted my statement saying that James Wiseman is stronger than him because he's not. Because Jaime Echenique definitely held his own against James Wiseman, the former second pick of the draft a couple of years ago. I thought Jaime Echenique did an incredible job versus James Wiseman. He used the pump fake. He stood his ground, used his girth and his strength, the big body that Jaime Echenique has, the first Colombian NBA player. I thought he did a heck of a job scoring a double, putting up a double-double tonight, 17 points, 12 rebounds. Like I said, the pump fakes. He was a monster on the boards tonight. Had a couple offensive rebounds tonight as well. He had 4 offensive rebounds. I thought he did a really good job tonight, where the broadcast said it too, where James Wiseman would go off and help and try to block a shot, and Jaime Echenique would get positioned in the post and box somebody out and get an offensive rebound and go back up. He did a really good job of getting to the free throw line tonight too. 7 for 8 from the free throw line tonight was Jaime Echenique. 5 for 8 from the field in 30 minutes of play. He was also a plus 25 in the plus minus box. There were times that you could just tell in the third quarter when they took out Jaime Echenique, when he was on the bench, that's when the Warriors went on their run. And then at the end of the third quarter, Jaime Echenique, they put him, Zach Guthrie, the head coach of the Washington Wizards Summer League, they put Jaime Echenique back in the game. That's when the Wizards went on another run. And then to start off the fourth quarter, the Wizards went on an 18-0 run, and they won the fourth quarter 26-8. So that fourth quarter was just pretty much a nail in the coffin for the Wizards winning this game. But I thought Jaime Echenique did a heck of a job tonight. Pat Spencer, man. He's a baller, man. He was the national player of the year in lacrosse. This guy can play. He is an athlete. He went for a backdoor dunk. Jaime Echenique had a couple dunks tonight too. He had a really nice pick and roll. I think Pat Spencer was the guy that gave him a pass, and he caught it and slammed it down. I mean, throw it down, big fella. Throw it down, like Bill Walton says. But Jaime Echenique, he hit a couple of nice finishes, had a couple of nice dunks tonight too. Pat Spencer, it was either a backdoor cut, but he had a dunk the night before. And Pat Spencer went up for a nice two-hand dunk and finished it, man. He's an above-the-rim player, man. He's got some hops to his game, seriously. But Pat Spencer finished the night with 7 assists and 5 boards. He filled up the stat sheet. 16. He was 16 in the plus-minus box. But overall, as a team, I just thought the Wizards moved the ball tonight. 21 assists, 10 steals, active in the passing lanes again. The guards are scrappy. They play hard. Guys like Jordan Goodwin, Shackle plays hard. He's a scrappy guard as well. Mcclung is scrappy. Quentin Jackson is scrappy. This basically was another Capital City go-go game with a lot of guys not playing on both sides of both teams. But I thought these guys stepped up and they took advantage of the moment and took advantage of the playing time tonight for sure. So that's what I like about these guys. Not scared of the moment at all. So. But, yeah, they got to the free throw line a lot, too, tonight. 20 free throws tonight, 18 for 20 from the free throw line. So they only missed 2 free throws, took advantage of the opportunities. They did get out-rebounded 45-36. I do like the 21 assists, only 12 turnovers tonight. The Warriors turned the ball over 21 times tonight. So I thought it was just a really good overall effort. 4 guys in double figures tonight. Devin Dotson, 11 points. Jaime Echenique, 17 points. Quentin Jackson with 18 points off the bench. Pat Spencer with 11 points in 24 minutes tonight. So just a good all-around game from top to bottom. I thought they had a good start. That third quarter got away from them a little bit. Mcclung, who went to Georgetown, then transferred to Texas Tech. I was very upset. When I got the news a couple years ago that Mcclung was transferring from Georgetown, I was like, what in the world is going on? James Akinjo as well, who played for Baylor, who would transfer to Baylor. Georgetown at one time had a really good team. They had a stacked team, but a lot of guys transfer. So I don't want to get off the rails here about talking about Georgetown basketball, but a lot of guys transferred from Georgetown that were really, really good for some reason. I don't know, but Mcclung, he was getting to the basket whenever he felt like it. A lot of penetration. He had a nice behind-the-back pass to James Wiseman, or James Wiseman had a couple dunks and a couple of alley-oops. But once again, I think Jaime Echenique got the best of James Wiseman. I thought he did a really good job defensively against James Wiseman. James Wiseman, I thought he did a good job. He missed a couple threes. He clanked a couple jumpers off the side of the rim and off the side of the backboard at some points. And he just really scored because he was bigger than everybody and taller and just more athletic. But I just think Jaime Echenique really, really held his own against James Wiseman and did a heck of a job. So I do want to go over some more points about the game, some guys who stood out to me, some studs, and I'm not going to say duds, but some more studs from the game and just how they impacted the game. And then who possibly could get the second two-way contract. Jordan Shackle has a two-way contract with the Washington Wizards. Just want to explain that to you guys. I'll just read the definition to you guys if you don't know what a two-way contract is. But before we do get to that, this episode is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline.net is their number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so guys who definitely stood out to me tonight. Quentin Jackson, man, this guy can get to the rim. He can score, man. He can boogie. Reminds me of Jordan Craig and Jordan Crawford, some former Wizards right there. Kind of a Jamal Crawford game a little bit too. Just a lean, wiry guy that can put you in a mix, put you in a blender, can get you all balance, all dribble moves, in and out, crossover, step backs, all kinds of stuff. He did a jelly layup where it was just an up and under move. It was a really, really nice layup. He did a really, really good job with that. He really got to the basket. 8 for 15 from the field, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 3 boards, 18 points. Look at this plus minus. If whatever it's worth with plus minus, was a plus 15, 3 steals tonight, active in the passing lane, 1 assist and 3 rebounds. He was the guy on Texas A&M. That team, they upset Jabari Smith, who was the 3rd pick of the draft, I want to say. He upset Auburn with Walker Kessler, all those guys on Auburn. Bruce Pearl being their head coach. They upset them in the first round of the SEC tournament, or the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. So Quentin Jackson and those guys, man, they can play. They were a scrappy team. Quentin Jackson, he can get to the basket, and he got to the free throw line a lot in college, and you can see that he gets downhill. He's a really good finisher. He's very explosive. As well. Crick Sword, thought he did some good things. Hands in the passing lanes, 5 points. Tyler Hall, 7 points, 5 boards, 2 assists. Did multiple things out there. Hit an and 1-3 in the corner as well. Pat Spencer, once again, I thought he did a great job tonight. Played really, really well. Shackle, 6 points, hit a 3. Didn't get a lot of playing time tonight. 17 minutes. Devin Dotson, I thought when he was in there, I thought he was a key contributor. 11 points and 5 assists in 16 minutes. So he was able to fill it up tonight. Perrier Henry did not play tonight. Davion Mintz did not touch the floor tonight. So those are the 2 DNPs for tonight. But I thought, and then Isaiah Todd. I do have to talk about Isaiah Todd because, the Wizards were focusing on Isaiah Todd. Jordan Goodwin didn't shoot the ball well tonight, 2 points, but he did other things, 4 assists and 5 boards and 2 steals. So he was able to do other things and contribute to the game in different ways other than just scoring the basketball. So Isaiah Todd had another roller coaster kind of game. 3 for 13 from the field, 2 for 8 from the three-point line, 8 points, 1 steal, 1 rebound. He's got to rebound the ball more. You're 6'10", still growing. He's still very young. He might end up being 6'11", but he's got to rebound. Just like Rui. You look at Rui. Rui needs to rebound the ball more. You're just too tall and athletic to not end up with 9, 8 rebounds. You look at the way Kyle Kuzma rebounds the ball. These guys can take notes from Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma is he was a legitimate rebounder last year. So Isaiah Todd, I just want to see him improve rebounding the basketball, doing other things than just shooting threes. Once again, the broadcast, they said that Isaiah Todd has a tendency to just stay on the perimeter. Do want to see him do other things, but he's a really good slide. He can move without the basketball. He had a nice dunk in the beginning of the game, hit a couple threes, then he missed a three. He did do a pump fake this time, which I told him last game. I was like, try to get some guys off balance. He did pump fake, and then he got blocked still. Then he did a spin move, and he got blocked by James Wiseman as well. So he just has to, improve on finishing through physicality, having some better finish moves. He's got the athletic. He has elite athleticism. I don't know if he is elite, but he is very athletic for a guy his size. He is super, super athletic. He can get above the rim for sure. And that's all I got on Isaiah Todd. Just another roller coaster game for him. Just got to get in the weight room and has to work on his ball handling because I don't see him doing any dribble moves or getting to the basket. And I always bring up that Pacers game, but he was playing east-west. Nothing was north-south. Nothing was really getting to the basket. And the coaches, they didn't really do him a lot of favors in the summer. They didn't really call a lot of post-ups or anything like that for him, mid-range post-up calls or, dribble handoffs, anything like that. I didn't see much of that call for Isaiah Todd. I did see some pick and rolls, pick and pops, and different things like that. But it was just a roller coaster. He really reminds me of Devin Robinson, who used to play for the Wizards. I don't know if he played in any. I remember Devin Robinson, who was super athletic, just a super athlete. Unfortunately, he got into an altercation off the court, and the Wizards released him. And then he kind of reminds me of Chris McCullough as well, who went to Syracuse, another lean, wiry guy who's just super, super athletic. You see the talent, you see the athleticism, good shooting form, good shooting stroke, but basketball's from the neck up. He has a lot to learn, getting used to the physicality, knowing when to pass the ball, not having tunnel vision as well is an improvement area for Isaiah Todd. But I see the potential. I don't know if he's going to be able to help this next year coming up, but you do see the potential. You do see why they picked him at pick 30. You do see the flashes of why they picked him at pick 30 here and there. So, but yeah, that's all I got. As far as the two-way contract, just wanted to read this language for you guys here. This is what the two-way contract. This is from the Sporting News. NBA teams may have up to 2 players under NBA two-way contracts who will spend the bulk of the season in the NBA G League and not more than 45 days with their NBA team. Two-way players are paid a corresponding daily amount based on the number of days they play in each league. Only players in their 4th NBA season or earlier are able to sign two-way contracts, which can be for either 1 or 2 seasons. It's also important to note that two-way players are not eligible to compete in the NBA playoffs unless the contract is converted to a full-time roster spot. So the last guy I can really remember that got a two-way was Garrison Matthews. I remember they had to take away the two-way contract because he kept playing in regular season games. You can't play. There's a certain amount of games, like they said, there are a certain amount of days that you can spend with the actual NBA team. So, but that's about it. So the two-way contract, some guys that I think could possibly get it. Jaime Echenique is a guy that could possibly get the second two-way. Jordan Shackle already has the two-way. Jordan Goodwin, I thought he played really well. Pat Spencer, I think he really played well, man. I know he got limited minutes. I feel like if he got more minutes, he would have been able to contribute. I thought he really controlled the offense. Passing the ball, he had some really nice passes to Jaime Echenique. I thought he was a floor general out there. He really was, and he played solid defense. He really did, and he plays above the rim. He can finish through contact. He was able to create a shot for himself too. There were some times where he created contact and then went up and scored, was able to finish, and was able to get to the free throw line. I do want to say how many free throws did Pat Spencer shoot tonight? He was 3 for 4 from the free throw line. So that's not bad, but with the limited time and minutes that he got, I thought he did a really good job using it. And he looked really confident and decisive. So, but I do want to get to the chat with you guys, and then we'll wrap it up here. But before we do get to that, this episode is brought to you by Rock Auto. With the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now possible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts you need. Why are there often pointless and seemingly intimidating questions like, is your Odyssey an LX or an EX? And wait while the person behind the counter orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers with access to rockauto.com and in your pocket. Save time and money when using Rock Auto. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every customer. Go explore their easy-to-use website today to find their solution to your auto part needs. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. Right Locked On in their How Did You Hear About Us box so they know we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. rockauto.com. All right, let's open it up to the chat. Let's get it popping. Sunday night, talking about Summer League basketball. This is how you know we are basketball junkies, because we're talking about Summer League basketball, the last Summer League game of the Summer League. The Wizards had to play it at 7:30 o'clock at night on a Sunday night. Uptown Dre says, "Yo, Edo, that's my guy. What's up, Uptown Dre?" Scott Ramon Sagiri Mascuti says Quentin Jackson with the eyes emoji. Quentin Jackson, he's playing well, man. I like the way he played. And I think Johnny Davis can honestly take notes from how aggressive these guys were. Quentin Jackson, looking at how aggressive he was. Pat Spencer as well. Jaime Echenique, even though he's a big. But I think Johnny Davis can definitely take some notes there. And I know Chris Miller, I was listening to Chris Miller on the radio, and he said that people on the bench, his teammates, were telling Johnny Davis to be aggressive and yelling at him to be aggressive. So I think he can learn a lot from those guys. But Quentin Jackson played well. He's a 3-level. He's a legitimate 3-level scorer. I think he's still getting used to the 3-point line because he had 2 threes that went off the side of the backboard. Then he switched the last 3. But he almost had a nasty block too, where he almost it was like a John Wall jump up and block somebody. So Ben Tate says Quentin Jackson balled out. Hope he gets an opportunity somewhere. His burst is special. Yeah, that could be where Anton Jameson was talking about finding a diamond in the rough. He could be that diamond in the rough. The guy can play. He has NBA talent. He has NBA translatable and translatable skills as a 3-level scorer. He can really score off the bounce. He's really explosive too. Uptown Dre says solid win, 20-0 run, finished the Warriors. Yeah, they did. 20-0 run. They really took over the game. They really did. Omer Azalea says, oops. Uptown Dre says Pat Spencer filled up the stat sheet, solid player. Yeah, he did. He does some of the things you can't teach, some of the intangibles. I thought he did a good job of that. Jaime Echenique needs to be our third center. This is what Uptown Dre says. It's between Vernon Carey, because Vernon Carey played really well too. Both these guys played really well. And Todd Gibson. I think Todd Gibson right now is going to be the third center, though. I really do. I think he's going to be the third center. And then after that, Vernon Carey, if he makes the roster, and Jaime Echenique. So we'll see. Webb says Pat Spencer needs a 2-way contract. I would not be opposed to that at all. I thought he played really well. I really wish he could have got some more playing time. I really do. Dean Palmer says, yeah, Jaime looks better than Isaiah Todd. Yes, he does. He does look more polished. He does look more polished than Isaiah Todd. He knows how to use his strength. He knows how to play through physicality right now. He knows his spots. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses. The only thing is that Jaime doesn't stretch the floor. And he's an old school big. Can he move his feet against a stretch 5? Can he move his feet against Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, other 5s that can put the ball on the floor? He can get to the basket. If they put a small ball 5 out there, like a Grant Williams or Draymond Green, guys like that, can he stay in front of those guys? Can he defend those guys? So those are the question marks right there. And he has an old school game, the hook shot, the slow, Robin Lopez, it worked for him. So, I mean, Jaime Echenique, who knows? Maybe it could work for him in the NBA. Who knows? Uptown Dre says, Todd scuffling in some league, but he's talented. Another year with the Go-Go would do him good. Yeah, I think definitely another year with the Go-Go for sure. Definitely another year with the Go-Go. Get in the weight room, working on ball handling, working on passing and offensive awareness. Definitely for sure. Should help him out. But the athleticism is there. The shot is there. The form is there. The stroke is there for sure. Ben says, I'm assuming Todd came into Summer League wanting to work on his 3-point game because I think he should use his size more to get to the cup or the mid-range game. He did try to get to the basket one time. He used some physicality where he cut the ball like it was a football, went up into somebody's chest, but he missed a layup. And I like it. It's different than just shooting threes. I'm going to look at the stats and pull up some stats tomorrow and just look at the majority of his shots that were taken. I think he took more. He might have taken more threes than just as many threes as 2s, to be honest. Ben says Quentin Jackson, Devon Dotson, or Goodwin should get the second 2-way contract. I think Jordan Goodwin's a guy that they might look at to give him the 2-way contract. If Quentin Jackson would have played more games, and he said in the post game too, he was looking to he was not nervous, but he wasn't as aggressive as he could have been in the first couple of games. And I think the same thing with Johnny Davis. But I think if Johnny Davis would have played in a game like this, I think this would have been Johnny Davis's breakout game. I think this game and the last game would have been better for Johnny Davis to get his feet wet and get his feet under him and get his confidence going. But yeah, as far as the two-way guys, Jaime Echenique, he probably will be a guy to get the two-way. Vernon Carey's not going to get a two-way because he has a large chance to be on a roster. So that's why he wouldn't be getting the two-way. But Jaime played a couple of games last year. He played in one or two games last year, or suited up in a game. Thomas Cheek says Pat Spencer, the only true point guard on the team, great basketball IQ. That's the thing. He has really good basketball IQ. He has a really good feel for the game as well. He is a floor general. He is a pass-first point guard. That's what the Wizards are looking for. So I can see him getting a two-way contract as well. And now I know he barely got to play. So it would be more difficult for him to get it because he barely played. But for the minutes that he played, I thought he scrapped on defense, and he has athleticism, man. And he can really pass. He has really good court vision and really good feel for the game. Ben Tate says, interesting how we saw Spencer step up in 2 games without Johnny Davis. I think the Wiz will take a serious look because he was their best facilitator. He was their best facilitator. Now you look at the point guard position. They have DeLon Wright, Monte Morris. They're good. They're good players. They're not all stars by any means, but they're good players. Could Pat Spencer get some playing time there? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? You never know. But he played well, man. He impressed me. He did. He impressed me. He played for the G League last year. His story, he was the National Player of the Year of lacrosse. So he's a dual sport athlete. You could see the athleticism there. So who knows? But stepped up without Johnny. I mean, yeah, he got an opportunity because Johnny didn't play. Biggie Steve says, who do you see us picking up from the team to go to the G League? I don't really see anybody. Maybe Jaime Echenique and Pat Spencer. Quentin Jackson can really score. And when he's aggressive, man, the Wizards need athleticism. They lack athleticism, and I think he brings athleticism to the team. So I think the guys with the translatable skills to the NBA is Quentin Jackson because of his shot creation and his 3-level scoring. Pat Spencer possibly. Shackle is a guy that they brought up last year. Jaime Echenique was a guy they brought up last year. Isaiah Todd is a guy they brought up last year. Isaiah Todd just, has a lot to work on as far as ball handling, physicality, decision making, passing. So Isaiah Todd, he's super athletic though, and he can really finish in transition. But to answer your question, I would say Jaime, Jordan Goodwin as well. And then Kyrie Walker, if you didn't know, he's not affiliated with the team anymore. So I thought that was a guy that I wanted to see him come back and play for the Wizards because I think Kyrie Walker is very talented. Thomas Cheek says Johnny Davis a bad pick. I disagree. It's way too early to say that. Way too early to say that. Uptown Dre says, when are the resigning or signing period for two-way players begin? Yeah, they can sign guys now. There's already teams that are signing guys to two-way players. There's already other teams who have done that. So we have one two-way contract available. Jordan Shackle has the other two-way. So we'll see. Ben says Gibson will be the third center because we just signed him, and we look foolish to not have him contribute, and he stretches the floor more than Carey and Echenique. That is true. He has more of a jumper. Todd Gibson, I got to look at his three-point shooting to see if he took many threes because, I mean, we're not expecting him to go out there and knock down threes, but he can shoot the mid-range for sure. Todd Gibson has always been a good mid-range shooter. Even back with the Bulls, he was able to do that. So, Todd Gibson last year, I haven't even looked at his numbers, to be honest. This is my first time pulling up his numbers. 4 points, 4 boards a game last year. He played in 52 games, had 4 starts, 18 minutes per game. Shot 39% from the three-point line, 0.7 threes per game. So he didn't shoot many threes. Just looking at his total numbers, how many threes did he shoot last year? He shot 38 threes in 52 games. He shot 38 threes. So we're not, he's not going to be a 3-point threat, but he can stretch, he can stretch the floor more than Jaime. I would say that because Jaime shot 1 jump shot this game, and it didn't look great, but he definitely tried. Vernon Carey, he has a solid mid range game, but he's not shooting the 3. He's not really stretching the floor. So they are all the bigs we have except for Kristaps are basically old school big. Now Gafford is more of a modern big because he's just a rim running big. He doesn't shoot the three he doesn't shoot any jumpers for the most part at all. But Gibson, man, I liken him to the Udonis Haslem of the team, even though we don't have the history like the Miami Heat with Udonis Haslem winning multiple championships with the Miami Heat and just being with the organization and being a player's coach. But Taj Gibson, he may be one of those guys who's like a player's coach or something like that. Because Taj Gibson, he's been in the league for many, many years. He's been in the league for 13 years. He's 37 years old now. 37 years old. So I can see him doing that role. And like I said, he might play more games than what you think because Chris Tapps, unfortunately, he's missed many games in the past. Daniel Gafford, foul trouble. And then he said he has sports asthma. Then he says he doesn't have sports asthma. So if he's, out of shape or just running so fast up and down the floor, he gets tired. We're gonna need another big in there. And the Wizards have done a 3 big lineup. I know it was with Scott Brooks, but they had the Alex Lynn, Gaff, and Robin Lopez, which it's a different team. I get that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Gibson gets more playing time than what you think, to be honest. Ben says, removing transition baskets, I feel like 75% of Todd's attempts were threes. Yeah, I'm going to look that up and give you guys some numbers from the Summer League tomorrow because I know majority of his shots were three-pointers, and the broadcasts pointed out numerous times that Isaiah Todd that he likes to stand at the three-point line. He likes to shoot a lot of threes, and I feel like he could do more than that. If he wants to progress his game, he's gonna have to do something other than just shoot threes. He's playing like a big shooting guard right now, like a 6'10" shooting guard, which is the modern NBA. It's different, stretch 4, stretch 5, whatever you want to call it, positionless basketball. But I feel like he definitely needs to add more to his game than just shooting threes, for sure. I think he's more capable. I think he's super, super talented, for sure. Teasery says, what happened to Kyrie Walker? Kyrie Walker, I just saw something where he was working out, but he's not with the Wizards anymore, which is unfortunate because I see the talent, man. He's explosive too. He's explosive. And he can shoot as well. Kyrie Walker, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's physical too. He can finish around the rim. He would bring some physicality to the Wizards. What they need, athleticism and physicality. That's what the Wizards need, and I think Kyrie would be able to do that. I think he's one of those guys where they're a diamond in the rough too. I think if he went to the Miami Heat or the Grizzlies, somebody like that, I think he would be able to go there and help them out for sure. NBA Land says, do you see Carson Wentz having a better season? I do see him having a good season. I'm not getting my hopes up, but this is Carson Wentz's last chance. This is his last chance because this is his third team in 3 years. Got traded from the Eagles. That they ended up with bad blood there. The Colts didn't end well either, losing to the Jaguars, losing to the Raiders in the last 2 games of the year. But Carson Wentz, this is his best wide receiver core: Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jahan Dotson. I won't go too much into football, but that's a good receiving core. Antonio Gibson, you got a good running back. Brian Robinson, another good running back. This is Carson Wentz's last chance. You got an easier schedule this year too. You play the Jaguars, even though you lost to them. You play the Bears with Justin Fields. You play the Falcons with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota. You play the Lions in the second game of the year. It's an opportunity for the Commanders to have a good year. This is a big year for Carson Wentz. Is a big year for Ron Rivera. So this is the best offensive weaponry, wide receiver rise, Terry McLaurin, that Carson Wentz has had. So I think if he needs to grab the bull by the horns. This is Carson Wentz's last chance. All right, back to basketball. I'm wrapping up after these last 2 comments, though. I just want to thank you guys for coming in. We got 44 people in the chat tonight. Ben Tate says, who do you think is the most likely player for another NBA team to pick up from the Wizards roster? I'm going to say Pat Spencer or Jordan Goodwin or really Quentin Jackson. I think Quentin Jackson, he showcased something tonight. I really do. Jaime Echenique, I think the Wizards are going to keep him on the G League roster. I think they're going to do their best to keep Jaime Echenique. But I would say Quentin Jackson, man, I like him. I think he should have got more playing time than what he did. To be honest. Yusuf says, this is the last one. Isaiah Todd can't be getting blocked in the paint. He's 6'10". That's not acceptable. Well, everybody gets blocked. I'll say that. Everybody gets blocked. That's just the nature. That's just the beast of the game. You're going to get your shot blocked. Can he go up stronger? Does he need to work up on finishing around the rim and going up stronger? 100%. 100%. And that's something that our developmental program needs to work on. We got Anton Jameson on the staff. He can learn some finishing moves from Anton Jameson. They were showing Anton Jameson on the camera yesterday. Anton Jameson had, the floater game, all kind of weird finishes and stuff like that. But we do need Isaiah Todd to just go up and dunk on people and be mean. We definitely need him to do that. But we got some guys that can develop him. And Anton Jameson, they got the developmental staff there. So Yusuf also says, Jaime is too unathletic. He ain't doing anything in the league. That is true, too. That's why I said they're old school bigs. Him and Vernon Carey are two below the rim bigs. They're not lob threats at all. And then you go up against some bigs in the league like Clint Capella, Karl Anthony Towns, Joel Embiid, Jokic, all those guys. They're more athletic than Jaime, except for Jokic. But a lot of the bigs are more athletic than Jaime. So those are some concerns for him and Vernon Carey. They're both slow-footed. They're both slower, old school bigs. So, but I just want to thank you guys for listening and making Locked On Wizards your first listen every day. Now, for your second listen, get up to date on the latest news and rumors in the NBA in just 30 minutes. Every day with Locked On NBA. Locked On NBA, your daily NBA update in just 30 minutes. Just want to thank you guys for listening, and make sure you guys subscribe to Locked On Wizards on YouTube and hit the notification bell. Hell to the Wizards.